United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start the meeting with a proclamation to the high school baseball team. Whereas the Fredonia High School baseball program, through good leadership and dedicated players, has developed into a formidable powerhouse, and whereas their winning hit record in the 2013 baseball season led the team to victories in the division, in the Far West Division, and finally in the state championship, and whereas whether our local athletes are winning or not, we take great pride in supporting their activities as they represent our community. But we share their celebration in this great accomplishment throughout this baseball season. And whereas we also recognize head coach Vince Gallo and his coaching staff for developing the skills, drive, and sportsmanship so that his team could reach its potential. And whereas we appreciate the families, administration, staff, and community members who all had parts to play to help the 2013 baseball high school varsity baseball team achieve its ultimate goal of bringing the New York State Baseball Championship home to Fredonia. Now I, Stephen W. Keefe, with the power vested in me as mayor of the village of Fredonia, recognize and express the village's congratulations to the baseball players and coaches of the Fredonia High School varsity baseball team for their 2013 season.
You're here.
And I'll present this to Mr. Crandall tomorrow, in between dunk tanks. At a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, duly called and held on the 10th day of June 2013 at 7:30 p.m. in the Trustees Room, 2nd floor, Village Hall, Fredonia, New York, and public notice of the time and place of this meeting has been given to the news media and conspicuously posted in one or more designated public locations in accordance with Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
Where members of this board are present at the meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of May 20th, 2013. Now therefore be it resolved that this board approves the minutes as entered in the official minutes, and be it further resolved the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
In accordance with Section 21 of Article 2 of the Village Charter, Village Attorney Samuel Drayo Jr. is hereby appointed as Village Clerk for this meeting in the absence of Richard R. St. George, Village Clerk.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed. Reports.
I wanted to say one thing about that University Park thing. He said 2 months. That is never going to happen. If it moves forward, it's going to take a long time because of the court procedures. But I will be on top of it. You can rest assured, checking it out, calling the health department. But these things can be lengthy.
Right.
Assuming everything goes smoothly and the judge agrees, the bank doesn't object, saying we want to fix it up, and be a lot of different things. But we'll be on top of it.
Sounds good.
We have a report from the police department from Chief Myers for the month of May. Incidents reported 1,002, accidents 18, arrests reported 96, vehicle and traffic 38, parking tickets 106. And a detailed report is attached to the summary.
Correspondence.
We have a letter from the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department, June 6, 2013, to the mayor and the board. The members of the Fredonia Fire Department at their June 5th, 2013 meeting went on record supporting the recommendation of the Engine Replacement Committee to purchase the new custom pumper from Colden Enterprises at a cost of $499,985. This would be a Spartan ERV vehicle. Further, members that were present passed a resolution to release our share of the purchase from the Capital Reserve account. The resolution reads as follows: whereas the Board of Trustees and Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated are desirous of purchasing a new custom pumper truck, and whereas the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department has, with the Village of Fredonia, established a Capital Reserve account for the purpose of helping to purchase such vehicles to cover the cost of the Volunteer Fire Department to share in the purchase of the vehicle. To make it short, they're willing to release half the bid price in the amount of $2,499 $249,992.50 from their fund, and they're also willing to lend the Village of Fredonia the other half of the purchase price. We have another letter dated May 23rd from the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department outlining their, at their annual meeting, they agreed to certain activities that they were going to conduct, including an annual fund drive, 12 department meetings, 12 nights of companies meetings, 12 fire drills, and the list goes on and on and on. I have a letter from Ron Johnson, Acting Village of Fredonia Justice, to Mayor Keefe. I ask that you accept this letter of resignation from the position of Acting Justice of the Village of Fredonia. I would like to express how thankful I am to the Village of Fredonia, Mayor Keefe, for the opportunities presented during my time with the court. It is with my deepest regrets that I must leave this position effective immediately. If any further help is required with the transition of my previous position to my successor, I would be more than happy to act in a consulting position on that matter. No fee was discussed. That's a funny, okay. Thank you. That appears to be the correspondence.
Be it resolved the resignation of Ron Johnson as acting village justice with the Village of Fredonia Court is hereby accepted, effective immediately, and the mayor is hereby authorized to write a letter to Mr. Johnson thanking him for his service to the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Now's the time for public portion. If anyone would like to address the board at this time? Yes, Mr. Lewandowski.
Yeah, can I start?
Certainly.
Well, I'm here concerning water again. Ray Lewandowski, 36 Carroll Avenue, Fredonia. And the drinking water is what I'm referring to at the present time. And we've been having this problem down in Carroll with dirty water. And I've been, excuse me, I've been fighting this for almost 4 or 5 years. And Jack's been working on it, Mayor's been working on it. And I just brought in a few samples. I want to just show you, being that there's some new people on the board, what is going on. Now, this is my dish rack here. That's 2.5 weeks. With that, this is out of the shower, my soap container, 2.5 weeks. The water is filthy. If the people in Fredonia realize what they were drinking, they'd be all upset. Like I am. Here's an example. The mayor's got some down in his office. I brought some in.
That's all your tap?
No, it came out of the pipeline. Yeah. And Jack put in a flusher, and I don't believe the flusher's working. I think they've been having problems with it. And I believe that Jack has tried everything possible to get that to work correctly and solve this problem, but it hasn't worked out that way. And I was wondering, Jack, I think you mentioned once that you had the valve shut off at the corner of Carroll and Central, Is it possible, as long as that flusher's not working, is it possible that we can open that valve?
No, because when I had the valves open before, we still had the phone calls, and then the only way to flush is mid-block, and there's nowhere for the water to go. I wind up flushing in the neighborhood of 9 and 15 Carroll Avenue, and I just flood all the homes because there's not adequate drainage in that location.
Well, we definitely got a problem down there. It's not getting any better.
Anything, Jack, to try and rectify?
Yeah, but much more detail than I can go into right now.
So I just wanted to, make everybody aware of what was going on down there. We had a petition here a couple of years ago by all the neighbors. Nothing ever became of that. I seem to be the only person that's really fighting this. Everybody else doesn't want to participate in it. So it's still a problem, and I'm sure Jack and Steve have done everything possible, up to this present point. But with the new members on the board, I thought I'd come here tonight and mention it to the board members. Now, there was some talk before about maybe going to the county for help. I haven't heard anything. you know, if nobody wants to do that, I'll go to the county, see if we can get some help.
Is it a dead end line, Jeff?
Well, it is now.
I've made it a dead end in order to flush them out.
Yeah.
And
I think at the time, it wasn't every single house on that street that was being affected
No,
by it.
yeah.
It was a random few
I
houses,
remember
because we
that.
did that study at
Yeah.
the time. I think Mayor Sullivan was here, and I think he agrees with that, that it wasn't every single house. There were a few houses on that street, like Mr. Lewandowski's that was having some issues.
But I know Jack, is last summer, you know, when we had the hot spell, and Jack was flushing it, and of course, we were getting Dunkirk water, the water cleared up to some degree.
Mm.
But maybe we ought to turn around and send all that to Dunkirk.
No, we want good neighbors.
Okay. No, I just joking about that, but it's really a problem,
Right,
and,
I
and
know.
I go to Dunkirk and get my water. I get it from my brother's house in Dunkirk, and that's what I use for drinking. Because I don't trust the Fredonia water, to drink that water, what's going on, because you can see what I brought in.
Right.
And, now, we'll leave the drinking water for a moment. Now let's go to the groundwater. We had a new situation that just developed in the backyards between Carroll and Birchwood. The water that comes down through all the backyards between Birchwood and Carroll from the railroad tracks travels down through yard after yard after yard. When it gets to 34 Carroll, it stops. There's an individual that just bought the house at 26 Birchwood and put sandbags in and stopped the flow of water. So as a result, I had Larry Barger down there. Larry took a look at it, and it was probably about 2.5 feet deep this spring. The other day when we had the heavy rain last week, it affected 32 Carroll, 34, 36, 38, and also 28 Birchwood, flooded all those backyards, and they're still flooded. I've talked to this individual about taking the sandbags out. Nope, couldn't get any place with them. He turned around and took that area where he put the sandbags in, put a slab of concrete in, and put some Virgin Mary statues there, so that nobody would do anything to him. He went into the other neighbor's yard at 32 Carroll and dug a trench while they were in Florida. So, but we got water sitting there now, really water sitting there. We've always had a water problem down there, but now it's really bad. And I talked to him today, before I came to this meeting, and he says, let the village take care of it. So, I'm seeking help here too, from the village. I don't know what else to do.
If I may speak on an issue. Mark and Janelle were on the board at the time. We had that water diverted up on Holmes Place. And some residents on Birchwood and Middlesex complained because they weren't getting water.
Right.
And then it was diverted back.
Yeah, but that's not,
That's a
Very
different
little, I
situation.
think, was
but
diverted
that's
back,
not,
wasn't it, Jack?
that's not the water.
I don't think it's the same.
Yeah, it's a
not
different
water
channel.
situation.
Right, but
But years ago, they installed a receiver that went into that little creek, that went underground. And the water has been flowing fairly good, and then when he blocked this now, the water can't get to the receiver. And I believe the individual that lives at 34 Carroll just moved in there recently. I talked to him the other day, and he's gonna get a hold of the village and see if something can be done, because he's really got a swimming pool in his backyard because of this situation.
Right.
Oh, that would be, John Tinley.
Yeah,
I talked to him today.
did you?
Yeah, I told him, being a backyard issue, it's gonna get more involved than, Sam.
So,
I'll be talking to you.
And
So,
we talked earlier today too
if you
about
get
the
it-
same situation.
if we get a heavy rain, just take a ride down there and take a look in the backyard. You can see it right from the street. The birds love it.
Right.
Okay.
But
Now-
the mosquitoes will too.
Yeah, and they just had the warning on the radio this morning about the mosquitoes.
Mhm.
And so we're in for a heck of a summer.
Right.
And the third thing concerning water again, the fire hydrant, which is directly across the street from 36, and Jack will remember this. Remember, Jack, they looked at the valve, it wasn't leaking? Well, that fire hydrant's still leaking. And, pardon?
It's not leaking.
Jack, as dry as it was last summer.
I understand that, but I don't mean to say, differently, but we dug up the hydrant, there's no water coming out at the base of it, there's no water coming out at the valve. Wherever that water's coming from, it is not coming from that hydrant.
Jack, you didn't dig up the hydrant, you dug next to it. And I believe that it's the old fire hydrant where the flange is further down in the ground. And the newer ones have the flange up closer to the surface, and I think that's what's leaking. And all last summer during the dry spell, we had all the birds, which you did a good job because all the birds came there to drink. And there was water there, everything else was dry as a bone. And it was water there, and the mosquitoes were there. So there's still a problem with that. I'm just making you aware. And they dug the ditch out so that people wouldn't get stuck with their riding lawnmowers in the front yard, and they can go with their riding lawnmowers now. But there's still a problem there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Would anyone else like to address the board? Yes, sir. How are you doing, Mr. Stock?
Doug Stock, Woodward Drive, Fredonia. I'm here as president of the Dunkirk Area Labor Council and a member of the Power Up Western New York Coalition. I'd like to see the village board and the mayor adopt a resolution to support the repowering of Western New York, the Dunkirk steam station. I was at a conference call on Friday afternoon with the coalition, which I can read off the names. Senator Young. Other members include New York Assemblyman Andy Goodell, IBEW Local 97, Mayor of Dunkirk A.J. Dulles, County Executive Greg Edwards, Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, CEO William Daly, and CFO Rich Dixon, Chairman of Chautauqua County Legislature Jay Gould, Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, United Way of Northern Chautauqua County, Dunkirk Area Labor Council, Sheet Metal Workers Local 112, IBEW Local 106, Buffalo Building and Construction Trades Council, Southwestern New York Building and Construction Trades Council, Northeast Regional Council of Carpenters, and Eastern Millwright Regional Council, and Sunny Fredonia. And also, if you're going to write a letter or anything, send one to the Public Service Commission, asking them to hold any public hearings in northern Chautauqua County. The president of Sunny Fredonia made a comment on a conference call Friday that she would work with anybody to have the conference held at the Fredonia's, at Sunny Fredonia.
Do you have the address for the public service?
No, I don't have it with me, but I can get it.
Okay. Do you have my email address, Doug?
No, I don't.
Okay. What's your email address?
dstock, AFL-CIO, @AOL.com.
I have written to him twice. It's been electronic, mailings, but I'll put together a letter and we can talk about a resolution. AFL-CIO at
AOL.com.
Do you have a standard resolution with you, that?
Pardon?
Do you have a standard resolution you have with you?
No, I don't.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would anyone else like to address the board this evening? Okay. Resolutions.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of a new engine pumper firefighting vehicle and for the Village of Fredonia, Chautauqua County, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $275,000, and authorizing the issuance of $275,000 serial bonds of said village to pay for the cost thereof. This resolution is subject to permissive referendum.
Second.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
See you, Mr. Lewandowski.
You have to be seconded?
Yeah.
Okay, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh. Okay. Trustee Subject.
Aye.
Trustee Ruckman.
Nay.
Trustee Siri.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
I have 4 yes, 1 nay. And it passes.
Be it resolved that training requests for volunteer firefighters Jules Leon, Tony Fassel, Neil McKnight, Kurt Madam, and Larry Barr to travel outside of Chautauqua County for the purpose of attending the 2013 Fire Industry Rescue EMS Expo in Verona, New York, June 11th through 16th, 2013, at no cost to the Village of Fredonia is hereby approved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be resolved that the following members were elected to the office at the Fredonia Fire Department annual meeting held May 6, 2013. Derek Jordan, Fire Chief; Kurt Madam, First Assistant Chief; John Lanfer, Second Assistant Chief; John Sullivan, Treasurer; Neil McKnight, Financial Secretary; E. Lawrence Barter, Recording Secretary.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved, the schedule of meetings of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia for the period of July 2013 through December 2013, as set forth and attached to these minutes, is hereby approved. And be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized to publish said notice in the Observer and to mail a copy of said schedule to WDOE Radio, the Jamestown Post Journal, and the Buffalo News.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
Whereas an agreement between the Village of Fredonia and Dr. John D. Redfield, DBA Fredonia Animal Hospital, concerning the carrying of dogs seized by the Village of Fredonia authorized officials has been presented to this board, and whereas that agreement provides, among other things, that the village pay the hospital $15.75 per day for feeding and carry of the seized dog, and $75 for destruction and burial of unclaimed dogs as per the agreement in Section 118 of the Agricultural and Markets Law of the State of New York, and whereas said agreement for a 3-year period commencing June 1, 2013 and ending May 31, 2016, now therefore be it resolved, said agreement is hereby approved, and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said agreement on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas bids for the purchase of a new custom pumper vehicle for the Fredonia Fire Department were publicly opened and read aloud on April 25, 2013 in Conference 1, Village Hall, Fredonia, New York, and whereas the lowest bid submitted meeting specifications was from Colden Enterprises of Tonawanda, New York, on behalf of Crimson Fire, Inc., DBA Spartan ERV of North Brandon, South Dakota, hereinafter called Crimson Fire, Inc., in the amount of $502,585, less $2,600 trade-in of the 1986 pumper, for a net price of $499,985, and whereas the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department Rescue Truck Replacement Committee has reviewed and approved the bid from Colden Enterprises, and whereas the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. has agreed in writing to pay the village $249,992.50 for one half of the cost of the purchase of the vehicle, and to loan the village the remaining one half of the purchase price. Now therefore be it resolved that the bid from Colden Enterprises on behalf of Crimson Fire, Inc. is hereby accepted for the total purchase price of $499,985 as set forth below. Net base price of pumper $502,585, less trade-in of 1986 pumper $2,600, for a net total of $499,985.
Second.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh, sorry.
Be
Go ahead,
further
Patty, start
resolved that
over.
upon submission of the performance bond, insurance certificate, and any other documents required by the contract and specifications, the mayor is hereby authorized to sign an agreement on behalf of the Village of Fredonia, which is satisfactory to the village board of the Village of Fredonia, and be it further resolved that this resolution is subject to the completion of the financing resolution and necessary loan documents with the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department.
Now I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
We have 1 nay, 4 ayes. It passes.
Okay. Be it resolved that the village pay $453 for its annual membership dues to the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, covering July 1st, 2013 through June 30th, 2014.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that upon recommendation of Thomas Pataglia, Director, Fredonia Pomfret Recreation Department, the following individuals are hereby appointed to the seasonal positions for the 2013 summer recreation programs effective immediately. Mark Arnold, Catherine Bartkowiak, Zachary Brooks, Vincent Conti, Jacob Dulski, Brianna Garland, Samuel Leone, Angela McCoyak, Nicholas Miller, Elizabeth Queenleen, Rebecca Pasquale, Emily Ann Peslowski, Sandy,
Isabella.
thank you, Kirsten Reinhardt, Carly Schwartzfager, Matt Sheridan, Daniel Syracuse, Kayla Sullivan, Francesca Seisel, Eric Vara, and Kayla Voss.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that this Board of Trustees approves the mayor's appointment of Nancy A. Dietzen as acting village justice until the end of this village official year, April 23rd, 2014, at the current salary of $5,500 annually with no other benefits.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
And it passed. Anyone have any announcements? Any
Yeah, I
comments?
have another resolution
Oh,
that
that's right.
Sam gave me.
I'm sorry.
Be it resolved that the building inspector's office notify the property owners of 28 University Park to mow and remove high weeds and brush in accordance to the Village of Fredonia laws requiring high grass and wheat, etc. And the building inspector's office is authorized to have the lawn mowed and remove the weeds and bush if the owners fail to comply.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed. Now then.
I do
Any-
have something real quick. We were talking about the 20 University. Can we put locks on those doors?
Let me get back to you on that, Joe.
Okay. I mean, I just get to see people going in and out of
Right.
that.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Let me try to get back to you tomorrow.
Okay.
If I don't, give me a call.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered if there was any interest in a couple of us getting together and looking over the consolidated funding applications for 2013 that have just come out.
I would like to be involved with that. Anyone?
Yeah. Ann Eckman and I met on Wednesday, and since Scott was there and Mark wasn't there, so we could
Oh.
get together
No,
here.
this, no, this is about the grants for the various projects, not for consolidation.
Oh, okay. All right, so then that's something
Never
else.
mind.
But we would like to be on that also.
Okay,
Okay.
can we get together and start looking at the projects?
Certainly. Any volunteers?
Joe, did you volunteer for that, Joe? If you don't, I will.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, thank you.
And if you'd like me there, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah.
If you'd rather not.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of ideas coming up, so
Okay.
we might as well start.
Give me a call, I'll do it too.
Okay.
It will
All right.
help me
Will we
acclimate
have to
into
announce it?
Well, if we have 3 trustees,
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah,
So
okay.
It'll be a public meeting.
I was gonna say, if you wanna do it that way, I can defer to Phyllis on this.
Actually, you don't, and Phyllis, you have the,
You've got the
the
zoning.
expect, all that
experience that I
background
don't.
with
Oh,
the comprehensive plan that she did. You worked on the
Yeah,
comprehensive
I
plan.
worked on the
And so did
comprehensive
Susan.
plan.
Perfect.
Okay,
okay.
all
So,
right, thank you.
sounds great.
I'll send you emails.
All right. Okay, anything else for the good of the order?
I'm sorry, I do have one thing. Tommy, when is our signups for recreation program?
Times will be the last day of school, which is Friday, June 21st, from 6 to 8 p.m., and also on Saturday morning, June 22nd, from 9 a.m. until noon, to sign up for summer recreation.
How long is the program this year?
Program would be 7 weeks, running till August 6th, Friday, August 16th.
Starting.
starting Monday, June 24th.
Okay.
Monday, June
Phyllis?
There being no further business, I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
what? Adjourn to any?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Shall we adjourn?